Hey everybody, I'm not sure if you can actually hear me. I'm going live. I'm talking, I want to welcome you all to the live training. As I said, I'm not sure if you can see me right now, but we are going to go live. I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment, so you can see my slides. I know that I'm talking in the background. I don't even know if you can actually see me out there in the world, if that's coming through, but we're just getting our technology right to make sure that we can stream. Let me just, I can actually hear myself talk at the moment. So I'm just going to share my slides. Hopefully you're seeing this in the real world. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm going to go through this. Thanks, Travis. So I'm not sure if you can actually see my slides. Oh, here we go. So, and I'm just going to, hopefully you'll be able to see me in the corner here somewhere. I'm just looking at my screen, making sure we've got all the interwebs ready. I know there's a little bit of delay between Zoom and Facebook Live. And so I'm going to be walking you through. And there I am in the corner. Okay, so I'm hopefully going to be watching your... So, yeah, all right. So let's get this going. I want to thank you for being here on this Facebook Live. I'm just literally in transit on my way to a plane in another country. I want to thank you for, I want to talk about the 3 secrets of successful agencies that allow them to get high-level clients today. Again, the idea is to stop messing around and go and generate clients. So what I want to do is essentially cover. All right, so I want to cover some key areas, and so what I want to do is just get into our content here. The business of agency. A lot of people in this game are either just starting out, they've got a handful of clients, and they're you know, you're wanting more. I mean, we all want to generate more clients. We all want a consistency of a flow of clients for our business. We also want to maximize our opportunity to generate as much revenue as possible in this business we've built, because the idea of this business for all of us is this is our opportunity. This is something that we are aspiring to. We're using this as a vehicle to be able to grow our lifestyle, and more importantly, to create the experiences that we want. But at the same time, we all want a successful business. And we all know that there are some fundamental things that we need to be doing to generate those outcomes for us. So what I'm going to be sharing with you essentially today are some of the things that I know that have worked for me personally, and more importantly, things that have worked for people that I've worked with, a mentor and consulting champions. But at the end of the day, one of the universal truths is we all want more in our businesses. So as we go, a little bit about me. This is me in a place called Surfers Paradise, one of my favorite beaches. I spend a lot of time here. I do a lot of speaking, a lot of traveling around the world. I talk to a lot of conferences. I attend a lot of trade shows. In fact, I'm probably at more than 30 to 35 trade shows around the world every year. I attend many conferences, but I also run two very significant businesses. I have an agency that I'm a partner in where we specialize in the physical therapy market, and I also have my own business called Consulting Unleashed, which is helping people like yourselves who want to scale and grow a consulting business. And I do that by bringing people into a group called the Consulting Champions. And I've been running those businesses for a number of years now, but I've been in this game for more than 27 years. I've been in the consulting and the marketing game for more than 27 years. And essentially, I spent a lot of time. I built my businesses as built by design, life by design. So I like to travel, and that's why I do what I do, because I get to meet people, I get to hang out with my mentors that I get to mastermind with, but I also get to meet, see into interesting businesses and also travel to unique places. So this is why I built my business, so I can travel. As a consultant these days, we can work from anywhere. All we need is a laptop and an internet line, and we are in business. That is our office. So you can see on the bottom left-hand corner, my office is this space. It is my entertainment center. It is my dining room. It is where it's where I, sometimes do work. It is also my bedroom, but I do get to share a bathroom with 189 other people. I always make a joke that I live in the first. When people ask me where I live, I say that I live in the first 8 rows of an airplane. And so, as I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. Been traveling the world by design, by choice. Purely because I love traveling, I love visiting extraordinary places and meeting extraordinary people. So, moving on. I had the good fortune on my travels to go to a place called Fort Myers in Florida. And this statue beside me is a statue of Thomas Edison at a place called... It's in Fort Myers. It's where his laboratory was. It's where his winter homes were. It's also a place where he shared another home with a friend of his, Henry Ford. I'll talk a little bit about my experience in this place, because it was actually quite extraordinary. I literally drove 3 hours to get there, and I drove 3 hours back. I only got to spend about an hour and a half before I had to drive back and catch a flight across the country. But I was there a few weeks ago. It is an extraordinary place, and one of the things that it reminded me of is that my growth in my businesses in my life have all stemmed from the relationships that I've had with mentors and teachers that have helped me accelerate the process and move the needle faster in my businesses. I'll talk a little bit about this later on. So I talked about Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. In 1914, they founded a group called the Vagabonds. Essentially, the reason why I talk about these two people, why it's sort of come to my attention, is because recently I was reminded by somebody that I work with that, the mentors that we have literally change our lives. The people who have helped us along the way, who have taught us things from their experience in the past, have been able to accelerate our futures, our future growth and our future opportunity. And back in 1914, Henry Ford and Thomas Edison got together and started a mastermind called the Vagabonds. And what they did was they used to go on these elaborate camping trips around the United States, visiting science fairs, and they would invite incredible people. They would have people from the Colgate family. They would have presidents, artists, musicians, entrepreneurs, scientists, people from all walks of life that were extraordinary in their field, industrialists, business people, politicians, that were extraordinary in what they did. And they would actually talk about ideas and creativity and innovation and how they can change things socially and environmentally and all those sorts of things. In fact, this group probably had one of the most profound impacts on the Western world in terms of the changes that it brought. Henry Ford revolutionized the auto industry. Thomas Edison brought over 1,004 inventions to the market that were fully patented. I mean, he was creating things all the time that people could, it was basically solving problems with his inventions that people could actually benefit from. And he built an enormous business out of the ideas and inventions that he had through his lifetime. So for more than 15 years, this group would meet regularly and travel with their friends, the vagabonds, and they would mastermind, they would mentor each other, and they would literally change the face of the world. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that story as we go through. So my goal for this training for you is you are the average of the 5 people you associate with most. You are the average of your 5 friends. You can only get so far in this agency business through referrals. The only way for you to exponentially grow your is to master agency sales presentations in front of people. You've got to speak to people, you've got to share your ideas, you've got to maximize your opportunity to convert and to converse and to connect. The determination of the success of your business is going to be determined by the conversations you have. Then nobody's going to buy your agency services on a click a button. Nobody's going to invest tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars without you having conversations. And one thing you need to master is those conversations. And the only way to master the agency sales presentations is understanding the proven methods that leaders use intimately and how they actually do it. I'm going to be sharing you some really simple concepts that you can use to maximize your opportunity to generate sales or clients, and more importantly, have those conversations. So moving on, who is this training for? If you're at the beginning stage of your agency, you've got a handful of clients, and you're in the weeds of fulfillment, and you're getting stuck, and you're getting into these up and down cycles of revenue, this training is for you. This training specifically for you. If you're running an agency with a team and you want to scale, and you might have plateaued at some level, but you've got 4 or 5 team members, you're managing 10 to 15 clients, this is going to be super helpful to you. Even if you're just starting out, you've got some skills, you've come from the business world, and you want to jump into the entrepreneurial world of starting your agency, the ideas and tactics I'm going to be sharing with you on this live training are going to be relevant for you as well. So, I also just want to say, I've been meaning to tell you, and I'll tell you throughout this training for those of you just hopping into this live, that I'm actually getting together a very key group of people in Vegas on the 26th and 27th. If you're interested in knowing more about what I'm doing, just hashtag Vegas. We'll make sure that you get the information on what we're actually doing about creating this mastermind of unique agency people in the marketplace. So moving on. If you're staying to the end, I'm going to show you or share with you something that will accelerate your growth even further. I'm going to show you something that I've been working on for a little while now. That's something that has inspired me, and I want to really make this really special. So if you stay to the end of this training or watch this all the way through, I'm going to make sure that you understand how you can actually benefit from what I've been creating. So what happens when it works? One of the things that I find is when we get caught up in we get caught up in this concept of getting our ducks in a row. Oftentimes we're in our business, we're trying new tactics, or we're in the early stages. We're building websites, we're trying to craft our own funnels, we're developing ad campaigns, we're printing business cards, we're doing all these little things to get ready to go and generate clients. And what happens is that what happens with that process, and I have been also have this experience as well, where I've tried to set everything up and then I've gone to go and launch and get out into the marketplace. And the problem with that is it never pans out and it never finishes. The setting up process just keeps going on and on. Like, that website. I was talking to a consultant the other day who was caught up with, I'm working on my website right now, so when people come to it, they can see my capabilities. And I said, people don't care about your website. You can go and get clients now, right? What happens when it's work is when you take action. When you take imperfect action, you're going to get feedback. And from that feedback, you're going to grow and you're going to scale. One of the consulting champions I work with, a guy called Will, for 3 months, he was getting his ducks in a row to build his agency, to scale his agency, literally for 3 months. And what happened was he wasn't making any sales, and he was working in a full-time job, and he's sitting there saying, I'm building this business, I want to get going. And he's looking at himself and going, it's really weird. I've been playing with this thing for 3 months and I haven't actually generated a client. And so I told him, stop the ducks, stop getting ducks in the row. Let's go and engage. I gave him a simple tactic that I'm going to share with you in this training to just go out there and offer his services to the market. Within 6 weeks, he went from 0 clients to 6 clients. So a client a week almost over a 6-week period, but it added $180,000 worth of revenue to his business in 6 weeks. And then he quit his day job because he was doing that 3 hours a day part-time whilst he was working full-time in his corporate job. Right? So what happens when it works? What happens when you get clear, when you get focused, when you actually take the action? You will start to scale and grow much faster. It's really weird. I do these things with our consulting champions every quarter where we do a sales sprint for the last month of the quarter. And it's amazing that everybody hits their budgets and targets, exceeds their budgets and targets, generates a ton of appointments, gets a lot of sales in that 1 month. And then I tell them, I say, look, that's really cool. What you focus on most becomes your reality. And because they focused on revenue generating and income generating, they were able to go through and actually generate those results much faster because all they were focused on was going and getting clients, making sure that they were banking the deposits, making sure that they were growing their bank accounts, right? Most of us are focusing on trying to do things to slow us down, not on purpose, but we're minimizing our impact rather than maximizing our impact. So when it works, I often say, what are the ducks that are holding you up? Remove the ducks or stop the ducks, get into the action. Will it work for you? Absolutely. I've seen people who literally started from scratch and added $200,000 to $300,000 in their business within the space of 2 to 3 months, purely by the pure focus of engaging and getting feedback and talking to people about how they help people. That's what this process is all about. So an update on what's happened so far, just to give you a perspective of me. I specialize in strategic marketing, sales process, and niche market development. Last 3 years, over 300 consultants, launched over 170 new consulting agencies in the market, helped my consulting champions generate $64 million in consulting contracts, teaching the exact sort of stuff I'm sharing with you today. In the last 12 months, just with 2 strategies in our agency, we brought over 140 clients at an average investment of $60,000. That's a $9 million in annual revenue in the last 12 months. We've taken this agency from 0 to nearly $20 million in 3 years. And we focus on one thing, one funnel, one idea, one campaign. It is just very simple to one market. And so we've been able to scale and leverage into that market. As I said, I've been doing this for 27 years. I've built multiple businesses. I've been in the software industry and launched software companies. I've been around the consulting space for many, many years. And at the same time, I've learned an incredible amount of what works and what doesn't work. And I've been able to apply that, not just to mine, but to help people actually scale and grow their businesses as well. So when the crap hit the frying pan, I want to just share with you something that I experienced when I was getting into the game of being in business. I was 18 at the time, and I went to a seminar, and it was a seminar by a gentleman called Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham had flown out to Australia, and I went to, I paid $6,000 on my credit card. This is back in the day, like before I was really getting into the consulting game. In fact, before I even had a business. So I went to a business seminar and I didn't even have business. The reason I went to this business seminar is when I was 17, somebody gave me a book, and it was called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. At 17 years old, I was into sports. I was playing football. I was doing all sorts of things. I didn't read. Like, I just didn't read. It was the first book I actually sat down. I read stuff for high school and college and all that sort of stuff, but I wasn't a real a reader. But this book, for some reason, spoke to me. And so when I got this book, it literally changed my life in the way I was thinking. I wanted to read more of this stuff. And so I came across somebody who sent me some information on a guy called Jay Abraham, who is one of the legends of business and direct response marketing in the world. He's been responsible for billions of dollars worth of business through his marketing tactics and strategies and his consulting advice. In fact, I had the good fortune of spending some time with Jay in San Diego this year at a private dinner. And let me tell you, the 4 hours that I spent with him was just mind-blowing. He's like a library of innovation and creativity and deal making. So I went to this seminar, and I was super excited. It was like 4 days. him talking to us about ideas. There was about 250 people in the room. We all paid about $6,000 to attend this 4-day thing. This was back in the day when $6,000 was a lot of money, and I literally burned out my credit card to do this. And I realized at the end of the seminar, I had no business. Like, I learned all this cool business stuff, but I was not in business at the moment. So a friend of mine said that there was a restaurant that was kind of going out of business, and if I really wanted to, I could get it really cheap. And so really cheap was $3,500 for the lease. And so I bought this restaurant for $3,500 with all its stock and 14 staff and kitchen staff, and I knew nothing about the restaurant business. But I was very, very fortunate that in that moment of not knowing anything about the restaurant business, the second in charge, the 2IC, the sous chef, was somebody who had a lot of experience, who'd come from Europe. And we sat down when I bought this business, and I said, look, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I've bought this thing. I need your help. Let me be the student and you be the master. And yes, I own this thing, but if we work together, I know that if I follow your guidance, you've had this experience, you know exactly what to do, and I'm going to allow you to be as creative as possible. Now, this restaurant was a French-style, Mediterranean-style restaurant, and we used to specialize in a thing called gueridon service. And for those of you who may not know what gueridon service is, it's actually cooking at the table. So it's like teppanyaki cooking, Japanese style, but doing it with pots and pans at an actual table. And you'll see the flameage picture just behind me. This is exactly what it looks like. You create this dish. We had a signature dish, and I had to learn how to cook this dish at the table. Let me tell you, I singed my eyebrows. In fact, I still don't have any eyebrows because of this experience 30 years later. I singed my eyebrows cooking this one dish, this signature dish we had called the steak Diana. Steak Diana is a beautiful tomato-based dish with a very fine, you can do it with veal, or you can do it very fine fillets, and it's tender and it's juicy, and the flavor is incredible. And when you cook this at a table, it literally fills the whole room full of this flavor. And as soon as you put it, you do it for one, everybody wants a steak Diane. Very dynamic. You get to burn everybody's eyebrows off at the table. It's very cool. But not only was I having to learn how to cook, I actually went to cooking school, became a chef. Not only was I learning to have to learn how to cook, I was learning how to manage people. I was learning how to manage money. I was learning how to manage inventory, stock. I was learning how to manage all these things, and I was at school full time when I was doing this. And this was absolutely insane because I was just in love with the idea of being in business, right? Now, I don't want to go into what happened. It did turn out very well. But all of us struggle. All of us are in a great learning curve when we're trying to build something. All of us are in this moment where we're trying to, we know what we want to do. We want to do something great for ourselves. And there are things that we know that we must learn, but, we don't know what we don't know. And you will struggle, as all of us do. And let me tell you, I've had my moments where my back has been to the wall, and I've had my moments when I've been elated by incredible success and incredible results. And so, so all of us go through this journey of this learning curve, but our struggles come through breaking through those moments. Our struggles is really the questions that we ask. I had a friend of mine once, a mentor, say to me once, that confusion is the first step to understanding. When we're in confusion, when we're in struggle, when we're in overwhelm, it's the first step to taking a moment to understanding. So I thought that was very apt. But understand that we all go through these things. Even people who are building big agencies go through their struggles of doing this. So this was my trip to Fort Myers. I'll talk a little bit further about this, but it inspired me to create something very unique about the idea of the 5 people or your 5 closest friends are representative of where you're at, which is a quote that Jim Rome made. So as I said, on my travels, I get to do amazing, unique things. This was like finding a magic box. I went to a location that is picturesque and beautiful, that brought me back in time to great inventions, great innovations, great ideas, and I got to see a unique group of people and what happened when they got together and how they changed the world. So I get to do lots of cool stuff on my travels. So this is all about you. I want to talk about concepts, strategies, and tactics and ideas to grow your business. To grow your agency, there are 3 things that you need. You need more clients, you need more revenue, and you need more. You need that more often. So what I mean by that, this is no different to anybody else. We all need more clients. Every business that you work with needs more clients. Every person, every business that you work with, including yours, you need to be consistently making more revenue for yourself. And we need to be making sure that we're generating as much of that as possible for ourselves as well. So I'm keeping an eye out on the Facebooks here just to see if we're getting any comments. So I appreciate you guys hanging out here. So we're always in the mode of thinking, how do we generate more clients? How do we generate more revenue? And how do we get people or get more often? So let's think about that, because often people say to me that, businesses are different. Every business on the planet needs these three things. For your business to consistently grow, you need to focus on these three things. The question you have to ask yourself is, how am I getting more clients today? What am I doing actively to engage, to market, to sell on a consistent basis? Do I have a process that I follow so that I can basically paint by numbers and generate a client? So my question is, what are you doing to generate more clients on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, right? The second one, more revenue, is most people undercharge for what they do. You're underpricing your services. The reason why you're underpricing your services may be through a lack of confidence, maybe because you just don't know what your costings are, you're just not aware, and you feel that you're competing in a very big market in some cases. And oftentimes what you're doing is you're underpricing. Your service is only worth what you want to charge for it. So if you underprice, you're giving people an undervalued service if you underprice your services. So you need to think about looking at ways of raising the pricing margins. You need to look at your costs. You need to look at your profits, because one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they treat their business like a bank account. And if you're treating your business like a bank account where you just take what you need when you need it from the business, your accountant is going to give you a rude awakening and say, hey, you got this massive tax bill that you're going to pay that you need to take care of, and you need to take care of it now. And a lot of people in small business find themselves in this situation, or at least have this experience. The more often thing in the agency world is you want to keep your clients for years, not for months or a month or 2 months. Another big mistake a lot of agencies are doing is they're getting clients on these short-term deals. And if you've got a client on a short-term deal, oftentimes the client is very unlikely the client is going to stay with you because you're giving them an out. And most times I find that the short-term deals or the trials don't give you enough time to succeed in executing on a strategy. They don't give you enough time to succeed in executing on a strategy. So this is something that a lot of people struggle with in their agencies. I used to have this struggle where we have this idea of churning customers. Every time you lose a customer, that has a pinch on your bottom line. Or every time you bring one in, if you bring one in and lose one, you stay stagnant, right? The idea is you want to keep those clients, you create a compounding effect. So one of the key things here is you want to maximize your opportunity to generate sales. So just by the way, if you've just joined this live, and if you're interested in learning how to grow your business in a closed and intimate focused workshop, I've got a bootcamp style event happening in Vegas. If you hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, on this comment here, I'll make sure that you get some information on what that's going to look like for you. So let's continue on. Opportunity. Right now in this world, the opportunity is extraordinary. And what I mean by that is the offline business world is desperately looking for your skills. If you're doing SEO, AdWords, Facebook advertising, conversion rate optimization, web development, app development, graphic design, if you're doing all these things out there as a service in the market, copywriting, email marketing, funnel building, sales automation, CRM development, all these skills are right now in very high demand in the offline business world. Now, one of the challenges is we think that everybody knows this, but however, we tend to hang out with the wrong people. So let me tell you who not to hang out with. If you're listening to internet marketers, they know nothing about the real business world. What they know about is putting products together and pushing them out to the market at very cheap rates. And what this does is it pollutes your pricing model, because you see people charging $500 up to $2,000 on average for a product. And this creates a price set in your mindset. In the business world, companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars on advertising promotion. And we as agencies go out into the market and we promote a $2,000 a month management fee or a $3,000 a month management fee, and we're promising the world for so little that we get out of this process. And what happens is the client looks at us and treats us like a commodity. We don't create any value. We're not being very unique in what we're promoting. We're not positioning ourselves as somebody that you should be investing in long term. Small vision, small result, right? So what happens is the market is looking for expertise. I was at CES, which is a consumer electronics show. It is one of the largest trade shows in the world, in Las Vegas, in January, only a few weeks ago. There were 4,500 exhibitors. The average exhibitor in the main halls was spending $600,000 on their stand for 4 days. 600 grand on their stand for 4 days, not for a whole year's worth of marketing, just 4 days, right? These people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and some of them spending millions of dollars a month on ads, on Google, display network ads, on Facebook ads, on mainstream media, advertising, promotion. They've got big, big budgets, right? Because they know that they need to get those budgets to get out into the market to be able to sell their wares on a mass scale, right? But these businesses, 4,500 of them in the market, 4 days, the smallest business is paying about 30 grand to be there for 4 days, the smallest business, right? The bigger businesses were paying tens of millions of dollars to be there for the 4 days. So understand that in the offline world, the budgets are much bigger. Now, small to medium businesses is a mistake a lot of people make. They go to work in small businesses. Small businesses have small budgets, right? Tiny, tiny budgets. And so they can't grow. They can't expand because of the fact they don't have enough of a budget and they can't scale, right? Because again, they're not valuing the importance of marketing. From an opportunity point of view, when I travel the world, asking people, what is the most important thing that you're looking for right now and help with right now? Every single company I speak to said, we need people who know how to use Facebook. We need social media experts. We need branding and communication experts. We need people who know conversion rate optimization. We need e-commerce people. They need all these skill sets in the agency world, but they don't know where to find them. And so what they do is they try and put these ads in job boards to hire people. Right now, just in the United States alone, if you go to Indeed, and if you go to monster.com and some of the specialty niche sites, there's 67,000 job postings for people in the digital marketing space. 67,000 positions. Now, the ones you're looking for are not, I'm just giving you a really quick treat here, a quick tip. The people you're looking for are the companies that are advertising, not the recruitment firms. So if we wiped out more than 2/3 of those ads, or actually probably more, about half of those ads that are direct from recruitment firms who are trying to hire for people, there's 30,000 lead lists right there of companies that are trying to hire you for your skills. And the reason why they can't hire people, or they're finding it difficult to hire people, is because anybody with your skills knows that it's worth more than working in a job. They know, your skills are worth more, you can make more, and have the freedom and have the flexibility without working in a job, right? So opportunity right now is big, and it's only going to get bigger over the next few years. And this is where the world is opening up to the agency world. The barrier to entry in our business is very low. The success rate in our business is very low. The success rate in the agency world is very low because most people are approaching it in the wrong way. I'm going to share with you ways in which you can approach it in the right way. If you've just come on board to the Facebook Live here, I just want to mention I'm holding a in-person, intimate bootcamp style workshop with only a handful of people in Vegas at the end of March. If you're interested, just put in hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, if you want to know more about this group that I'm pulling together who are looking to scale and grow their agencies rapidly. I'm going to be infusing or sharing real-time action strategies where you're going to be putting stuff into place and growing your business exponentially. And we're going to be doing this in this group, in this very intimate setting in Vegas. So if you're interested, just make sure you hashtag VEGAS on the feed here, and I'll make sure that we give you the information on that event. So let's move on. Every day is a do-over. This is a thing that sometimes we get caught up in the past and we get caught up in the present. And so I'm just looking here as we go. So most of us, it doesn't matter what you did or didn't do yesterday. Every day is a do-over. The sun comes up every single day. In fact, This is a picture of the sun coming up on the east coast of Australia. I have many pictures. I love because I chase the sun. I have many pictures on other coasts of the world where the sun looks exactly the same when it comes up in the morning, all over the world. And so this idea of every day is a do-over means that you can take charge of your business today. You can go and get clients today if you choose to do so. What happens tomorrow is irrelevant because it's not even here yet. What happened yesterday is no longer relevant anymore because there's nothing you can do about what happened or didn't happen yesterday. So every day you get to rewrite your story. You get to rewrite how you want things to be. You get to choose this. And that's why I love every day as a do-over, you know. So what happens in the past, irrelevant because it means nothing today. What happens in the future, irrelevant because it's not even here yet. But today, what you choose today to go and generate clients, that's the key here that you want to be focusing on, okay? So every day is a do-over. I want to just give you an example of what happens when you just get out of your own way. Elton here, this was a thing that he sent me as a post. He basically, he'd never sold AdWords. He'd never sold to solar companies. He used a really simple tactic I'm going to share with you a little bit later in this training, where he went out there, got a $1,500 ad spend, $1,500 management fee, and a $900 onboarding fee, literally within 48 hours of trying one concept, one idea for his business. And so this is how quickly Elton was just starting out in his business. This is how quickly things can turn around. Right? You can take control and open the door to generate clients now. In fact, I'm going to share a few things as we go along through these strategies. So, two things you need to be really focused on. I often ask this question to people when I'm talking to them about their business. I ask, how many appointments did you make this week? And then my next question is, how many presentations did you do to convert a customer, to help a customer buy? And oftentimes, when people look at their calendars, there's very few appointments and there's very few presentations. So the distinction between appointments and presentations, an appointment is somebody you're just feeling out to see if they're a fit, you're a fit, introducing yourself, you're having conversations. You should be aiming for one conversation per day, 20 conversations per month. Out of 20 conversations, you're going to land between 3 and 5 clients every single month. One conversation per day only takes 1 hour a day. You got 7 to 10 hours of the rest of the day to do whatever you like. But 1 hour a day to have one conversation is really important. And so I often ask ask agencies, how many pitches did you do in the last 30 days? How many appointments did you have in the last 30 days? Right? Now, it's really hard to grow your business if that number is 0 or 1 or 2 or 4. Right? It's really hard to grow your business. And it's amazing that the average number of if I look at both big and small, I'm talking large agencies that are running 7-figure agencies, and then I'm talking agencies that are around that $200,000 or $100,000 mark. I've asked this question oftentimes, and I've literally surveyed thousands of agencies around the world. And the average answer is 4. 4 people a month that they have spoken to. That is the average, right? And so then I ask them, how many of those 4 did you generate as clients? It'll be 1 or none. 1 or none clients is what they're generating for their business on average per month. If you work for a 60-day period and you have not brought a client into your business, you're in trouble. If you've been working for 60 days to generate a client for your business and you have not generated a client within a 60-day period, you are in serious trouble of going broke, because you cannot sustain or survive if you don't bring clients on every single month. And what you want to be aiming for is you want to be aiming for 2 to 3 clients as an average. That would be a standard that you're aiming for to bring into your business. The goal is 2 or 3 clients, not 1, 2 or 3. 1 is just breathing, sustaining life, right? So the key factors that are going to make a difference to your business is how many presentations did you do, right? How many sales appointments or how many appointments have you made? That's the critical thing. And every single person, quick tip, if you want to focus on generating more appointments, then you need to just go and converse or have a conversation or make an offer to have that conversation. That's not an offer to sell them anything, an offer to have that conversation, right? Should we talk? Would you like to see a strategy or an idea that is already working that will help people just like you get a better result than you're getting right now? Is that something worth sitting down and talking about? Yes or no? In most cases, the answer is going to be yes. right? That's what you're walking towards. I'm going to share with you some ideas. Marie, Edward, I can see you here, so thank you for being on this live training here. So moving on, let me just make sure that we're okay. All right, so remember, if you're just joining this live training, I'm holding a 2-day event, and it's a closed, intimate workshop focused in a boot camp style setting. We're going to be focusing on how to scale and leverage your business very quickly. If you hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, on this live, I'll make sure that you get the information about that intimate setting, and I'll talk a little bit further on about that in this presentation. So you are the average of 5 people you associate with most. You're the average of your 5 friends. Jim Rohn coined this phrase. For those of you who know Jim Rohn, he was an incredible motivational speaker. He was a business strategist. He worked with major corporations, not-for-profit organizations all over the world. In fact, I had the good fortune of meeting him a few times in my life. He was an extraordinary man with who literally changed the lives of people. Like, in fact, he was Anthony Robbins' first mentor. He's mentored some of the biggest motivational speakers and business icons on the planet. He's been around, he was around for a very long time, and he was exceptional at this. But this was a phrase that he coined, and this is something that I picked up when I started getting into, looking at building my business and improving. Was I started to look at the people I hung out with. I wanted to hang out with people who are creating things, doing things, being in business, building things with ideas. So I started to talk more and more to people. I started to invest in people who knew more than I did, that I wanted to learn from so that I can grow. And this is the idea of the mentoring or the masterminding concept. To give you perspective, in the like this year, we're in 2019. My investment in my mentoring is about $100,000. Last year, I invested about $120,000 in my education, in my mentoring, by talking to people who are at or above my level, who are helping me guide and accelerate the process of my learning, and more importantly, the results that I'm able to achieve in my businesses. But not only that, but results that I'm able to achieve personally as a human being as well. So it's really important that who you hang out with is really important. If you're, and that's why I say, I'm not saying don't be friends with internet marketers. I love internet marketers. I'm just saying don't listen to them when it comes to doing business outside in the real world. Talk to people who actually are in business. Talk to business owners. That's who you want to be talking to. Successful business owners who are achieving things. They're the ones who are interested in investing in your ideas, because they're always looking to improve. Always looking to improve. So the average of the 5 people you associate with most, your average 5 friends, is where you're at in life. And so I'm always looking to up my friends, up the level of my friendships with as many extraordinary people as possible. So I was once in your shoes. Like I said, every single person here, big or small, doesn't matter where you're at in business, you all start with your first client. I had to start with my first client on every agency or every business that I built. I had to go and get one client to get rolling and get going. And so when I started, I came from early on in my life. I was lucky to be in a corporate environment. I came from that environment, and then I got out. And when I got out, I was highly skilled, highly trained. I worked with one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. They were an $18 billion consulting firm. And the experience that I got and the level of learning and the mentorship that I got was extraordinary. But I became unemployable. And when I became unemployable, it meant that I had to go and live off my skills and off my knowledge. And so when I did that, I sat down and thought, what am I going to do? Right. And I thought, okay, I've got some skills. I know some skills in developing marketing strategy. I've got skills in developing sales processes for companies. I've got these key skills that I have. And my next question was, well, who can I go to that would benefit from those skills? When I was working for the big behemoth consulting agency, I had their name on my shoulders. But when I was working for me, John Logar, the maniac who just quit his job and now has to figure out how he's going to put food on the table, I didn't have that behind me. I had me. So I had to go and get my first clients so that I could basically survive. I mean, I was literally, I had a certain amount of money to go. Otherwise, I was going to have to get another job. But I became unemployable because of my knowledge. I became unemployable because of what I knew and because of my experience. So I couldn't get hired, right? So then I had to hire myself. I had to go and work for a maniac. I had to go and work for me. I had to go and get my first client. And in every business, you all have to do this, is to get your first client. Once you know how to get one client, you immediately have validated that you have a service that somebody is willing to invest in your business. And so now you can replicate exactly what you did to go and get the first client. And then you replicate that and you learn as you go along. You build your business in the early stages, one client at a time. You know, we in our agency business now build our business generating 7, 10, because we have leverage, we have salespeople. We get 7, 10 clients coming in our business at any one time, right? But when we started, one client at a time, just like you, I was in your shoes. When I started this business, when I started my businesses, I had to start with the first client. Big or small, David Ogilvy, one of my mentors in the advertising world, who ran the biggest advertising, the first $1 billion advertising agency, David Ogilvy Mather, when he got out of college and when he got into the ad game, he had to start with his first client. One client turned into a $1 billion agency. One client, right? We are all in the same boat. So the idea is one at a time. Let's grow it. Okay. So easy, fast tactics. I'm talking about some easy, fast tactics on how to grow your business to maximize your opportunity and just to get things moving. Now, the stuff that I'm going to share with you is common sense. I'm not going to be sharing funnels with you. I'm not going to be sharing push button marketing. I'm not going to be sharing anything like that. This is just really simple things that I know that if you apply this, it will work. It will work. 3 secrets to successful agencies. First one is learn from the best. I've always learned to grow my business from the best people in the marketplace to teach me. People who've done what I wanted to do. The number one thing is I want to replicate what they did to do to get there, to grow, and to maximize their opportunity to succeed. Number 2 is to the best tactic is to teach what you know. One of the easiest ways to generate clients is to teach what you know. And number 3 is that you can actually outsource your fulfillment. You can outsource your fulfillment. So let me go into the fact that can you do this? Okay. So I'm going to share a strategy from each of these areas that I've just spoken about. I'm going to share with you an example, how that works, and how you can apply the very same thing. So learning from others or applying what others do, I look at people who, I look at people who are generating clients consistently. Now, when I say this, I'm talking at an agency level. I'm not talking at that they're a coach or they're a teacher. They're actually doing this in real time. So I've looked for people who were really good at selling. I look for people who are really good at engaging business-to-business clients. I looked at ways in which I could follow a process. In fact, I got a part-time job selling insurance at night, 3 hours a night, whilst I was in my business, my consulting business, just to improve my selling skills. And I sat down behind a guy. I used to get there about half an hour early. And this was in a location. This is like a big call center, right? And the reason I chose this idea was because I really wanted to learn how to sell, but not to have a salary. So it was commission only, and it was the hardest selling to be done because you were calling people at dinner time talking about life insurance and house insurance for them whilst they're having their dinner, right? So between 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, 6 and 9, 3 hours, I was literally banging the phones with numbers, right? Like literally out of a white pages directory, calling people in their home saying, hey, hi, my name is John. I'm here to help you with some insurance, right? So that was horrible. It was a horrible scenario. But the reason I did that was because I knew there were people who were really good at doing that. And there was one guy, and his name was Ziggy, right? And Ziggy was like this 40-year-old guy. He'd been selling insurance for a long time. But his numbers crushed everybody else's numbers. And this guy, even though he used to get lots of referrals and all that sort of stuff to sell insurance, he was always there every night on the phones. And so what I used to do was come in half an hour early, sit behind him and just listen to Ziggy have conversations with absolute strangers. And at the end of that conversation, have them buy a policy off him, right? Literally have them buy. They were committing to a policy where, they were going to spend, $100 a week, $500 a month, which is a lot back in the day, on policies. And so he would sell these things very well throughout the week. He would outperform everybody. He would probably make about 30 sales a week just selling policies over the phone cold. And I used to sit down and just listen to his conversations. And as I was listening to his conversations, I found myself saying those things in my calls. And I just got better and better and better. And within the space of like a month, all of a sudden, I was making like 3-4 sales a night. I was making 20 sales a week, right? I just basically did what Ziggy said, followed a process, a step-by-step process, and applied it, and then started getting feedback and making adjustments. And I found myself learning the art of tongue fu, right? How to communicate in a way which allows people to be agreeable to you, but more importantly, to get them to listen to you, right? To build the rapport, to ask the right questions, to do all those sorts of things, and then to bring new customers on board every time. An example of this is one of my champions was just starting out, just coming out of a job, didn't want to work anymore in a corporate life, wanted to start their business. So I said, and so he was going to sit there and say, I'm going to try and start this. But he came to me and he asked me, can I help him, right? Because he knew that I help people build their agencies consistently and help them grow. And so I said, look, as long as you do what I tell you to do, as long as you take a step-by-step process, and as long as you focus on this, if this is what you want to do, then you can do this. You've never been in business before, but if you follow a really simple process and follow the sales process, you will generate clients. And it took him 3 weeks to generate his first client with the very first strategy by literally just reaching out to people in his network and that he knows. The strategy was go and talk to your familiar people, your familiar list, friends, associates, colleagues, people that alumni, acquaintances, anybody that you know that might be in business. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know how you're helping people with the service that you want to offer. And more importantly, go and show it to them to show them how it works. So within the first 3 weeks of him doing this, he didn't give away free strategy sessions. I encouraged him to sell his time. So I said, you're going to charge people $2,000 for a strategy session. And you're not going to do the strategy session. You're going to actually outsource. You're going to hire somebody to actually walk through and help you with the strategy session, and you're going to pay them for their time so that you can maximize your opportunity to convert a client. So within the first 3 weeks, he generated his first client that was investing $38,000 in his marketing services. Within the space of 90 days, 18 clients, more than 11 people paid over $2,000 just to have a conversation. This is a person who's come into the market, who's never been in business before, who just followed a simple process. Anybody can do this. Anybody can go and generate a client. In fact, most of you here know somebody. You can build a small list and just let people know. That one thing of letting people know what you do, the business that you're in, the types of businesses that you want to help and how you help people will give you a customer, will give you clients, right? So get out and meet business people. A lot of people, make this harder than it needs to be. There are meetups, networking functions, B&Is, Chamber of Commerce's, events, conferences, trade shows. A lot of these events are free. And yes, some of these events are paid. But if you are in business and you want to help business people, then you want to talk to business people. And the way to talk to them is to go and meet them in their environment. The reason I go to trade shows, and it's really, really weird. We live in an age where we're communicating through multiple devices and multiple channels right now. And that's holding us back. That is holding us back in some ways because we're losing this connection, and people like connecting with people, not just online, but they want to do this physically. And so I'm finding that events are getting bigger and bigger. Trade shows are getting bigger and bigger. Meetings are getting bigger because people want to connect with real human beings. They don't want to be sitting behind a laptop and having this interaction all the time. They want to engage. They want to connect. get out and meet people. That's one of the reasons why I'm holding this mastermind in Vegas, is to work closely, hand in hand with people directly, so that you can scale faster, you can leverage faster. By the way, if you just joined this this live training, I'm holding a intimate bootcamp, a 2-day intensive in Las Vegas on the 26th and the 27th of March. If you want to know more, this is working with me for 2 days, working on your business and helping you accelerate out of the gate in real time with action. Just hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, on the comments below, and I'll make sure that you'll get some information on what I'm doing to help people accelerate fast. So get out and meet people. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people are afraid of doing this. But when you meet people, people are going to ask you this question: what do you do? And you need to tell them how you help people, right? I'm going to share a really cool script with you. If you apply this within a 2-minute period, you'll be able to generate literally anywhere between 5 and 20 appointments if you apply this idea. So I'm just, sorry, let me just, in fact, I'm going to share that tactic with you now. So one of the things you want to be mindful of is, I often, the most successful strategy you can employ is to teach people what you know. Many people that I've worked with and people that I know out there in the consulting world, when I ask them, have you ever sat down and shown people what you do to get people a result, and they've decided, hey, can you do this for us? And they'll often say, yeah. People say, hey, how can we do this? How much is it going to cost us to do this? So if you go with the mentality of showing value, sharing people, ideas, not the intimate how-tos, but just a process that you know that will help them get a result, oftentimes they will ask you this question: so how much would it cost us to hire you to do this for us? That happens time and time again. It's one of the easiest approaches, where you add value to the market with your skill and your knowledge, to the point where you're saying, hey, right now you're not doing this, but if you were to put this in place, what do you think would happen? And then they'll go, well, if we put it in this place, I know we'll get more than what we're getting right now because we're not doing it, right? So is it okay if I show you a way on how we can work together to put this into place to make this work for you, right? It's a very simple offer that you're making. A lot of people make this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. If somebody needs some help and they see the opportunity and they see something unique that they believe will make a difference, then they're going to find a way to hire you. That's the key. So I came up with this really strategy to set yourself apart. If you're going to a live meeting, live networking meeting, to say this thing, it's really simple. I'm going to walk through this very slowly. You can rewatch it on the live training here. But it's a really simple thing to do. So if you were going to a meeting, you're going to compliment the organizer. This is a simple pitch, because what happens when you're in an intimate meeting, you have to introduce yourself to the people around you, or you're going to be invited to introduce yourself to the whole room. And it could be 20 to 40 people in the actual room, right? 20 to 40 people in the room. So if there's 20, 40 people in the room, here's what you say. You're going to compliment the organizer. I'm going to demonstrate and walk you through the strategy. It's really simple. And I'll say, hey, I just want to thank Mary here for putting on an amazing event. I think this is awesome that you're getting together once a week with this breakfast, or once a month with this breakfast. I always feel energized when I come to these things. I think you've done a remarkable job, Mary. I want to thank you personally for putting this on and for getting this group of people together. My name is John Logo, and let me ask you all a question. Who is looking for a customer that is putting up their hand and asking, can you help me answer some questions about your product, or more importantly, can you help me buy your product or service? Can you please put up your hand if you're looking for lots of these types of clients or customers? Every single person in the room will put up their hand. They'll go, yep, that's me, right? So I want to put some context into this. You're not going to talk about what you do and how you do what you do. All you're doing is you're doing this differently. Everybody else has got an elevated pitch saying, this is what I do, and this is who I help, and this is how great we are, right? You're not going to do this. The idea is you're going to add some value, right, in a unique way, where you're going to get people to say yes to you, and they want to talk to you. This is what you want. You want appointments. This is one of the fastest ways that you can generate appointments. So I'll go through this again. You're going to compliment the organizer. Mary, awesome job. Thank you. This is an amazing group, and I really appreciate the effort you've gone to getting these people together. My name is John Logo. Let me ask you all a question. Who is looking for a customer that is putting up their hand, asking, can you help me answer some questions about your product, or more importantly, can you help me buy your product or service? Right? Can you please put up your hand if you're looking for lots of these types of clients? Every business in the room is going to put up their hand, right? Great. So the next thing you're going to say is this. So thank you. That's all of you, right? Second question. Who here is running a reputable business, is willing to invest in their marketing, and do everything humanly possible to help customers buy their product or service please put up your hand. So who here is running a reputable business, is willing to invest in their marketing and do everything possible to help customers to buy their product or service? Put up your hand now. And every single person will put up their hand. Now, here's the pitch. Here's the clincher, right? One final question. If you gave me $1 for your marketing and I gave you $5 to $10 return every time you invested that dollar, who would like that kind of ROI in their marketing consistently, right? Put up your hand. If you want me to show you a simple plan that will demonstrate how you can achieve that for your business, make sure you give me your card before you leave here today. Make sure you pass me your card. All of you, pass me your card around the table before you leave here today. I will make sure I will show you how that's possible, right? So if you're a Facebook advertiser, a website developer, a copywriter, a sales funnel builder, automation, if you're AdWords, if you're doing Facebook ads, if you're doing banner ads, if you're doing LinkedIn ads, this script will work for you. This script is a powerful script. The record is 17 appointments. It was not set by me. The most I've ever done in a small group setting is about 15 appointments. I had one of my consulting champions do this, went to his first event. There were 30 people in the room and he made 17 appointments with 30 people in the room. But most people will walk away with at least 5 appointments just doing the strategy. I would make an appointment if I was really wanting to scale this up. I'd go and have breakfast with a few breakfast meetings. Breakfast is the best meeting because most CEOs and decision makers go to breakfast. They don't go to lunches and they don't go to evening events purely because they're tired and they're busy. But in the morning on the way to work, people will make the effort. You'll find decision makers will show up in the morning, not in the evenings. So target industry-specific job boards. I mentioned this before, things like Indeed, Monster.com. Go to specific boards, go to specific positions where people are hiring for your skill set. Because so here's the cost of hiring. They will spend between $20,000 and $50,000 to hire somebody. $20,000 to $50,000 to hire somebody. From that hire, they're going to they've got training, right? So they're going to be in arrears with this person. They're going to be paying them anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month or more for their services. So they're going to spend $60,000 to $100,000 or $120,000 plus for this person, right? And this is one person that's doing the job. Now they've got 401k. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. They've got to get ROI happening, but they've got this one person that they're trying to hire. And right now, there's 67,000 positions available in the market. So job boards are really easy because you can sit there and say, hey, do you want to not pay a 401k? Have the up and running. The reason you're hiring is you want this done. What if we get this up and running for you straight away? Because by the time you find somebody who's skilled enough to fit this role, it's going to be months and it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So why don't we save you tens of thousands of dollars in hiring? And why don't we give you our team that specializes on this all day, every day to deliver what you're looking for as a result by hiring this person? That's your offer, right? It's amazing how many people say, yeah, let's talk, right? Going to save you 401k, going to save you 30, 40 grand on hiring costs, going to get things up and running faster with the skill set that you want to hire for to get the result that you're looking for, right? So who can you teach what you know? Who can, when you talk to people about what you do, your skills, your ideas, your tactics, your strategies, when you do this, you open the door to people being amazed at what you do because they don't understand the online world like you do. They don't understand technology. They don't understand the services. They don't understand anything in the marketplace. Who can you teach what you know? I'll give you a classic example. I had one of our consulting champions who literally put a post on a Facebook post. He was in a business group, not an internet marketing group. He was in a business Facebook group. And so he knew how to dial in Facebook ads. He knew how to tweak, test, squeeze the most out of ad campaigns. That was his superpower, right? It's what he'd learned to do, and he knew that by testing, split testing, changing structures, adjusting campaigns, spreading budgets over different strategies. He was able to get results for his clients. And he would see in this group where oftentimes people say, does anybody know a good Facebook person? So rather than say, hey, I'm a Facebook person, I can help you, he put this one post. And you can do this if you're in a business group, right? He put this one post and say, hey, biggest problem that people have is their Facebook accounts suck, right? And so I'm asking you, does anybody feel right now that your Facebook advertising strategy is sucking for your business right now?
let me have a look at it for you. I might not be able to help, but I'm sure that I may be able to give you some ideas, and maybe you can make small adjustments and we can make a huge difference to your campaigns. If you're interested, just direct message me or private message me in Facebook here, and I'm more than happy to help you out and just have a look, right? He was not offering to work with them. He was offering to, let me just have a look at what's going on. Maybe I can make a recommendation. Maybe we can make the changes, right? So he put that post up. 20 people responded in this business group. So yeah, come and look at my Facebook campaigns. Five people hired him. $20,000 worth of revenue in 7 days. $5,000 a month for management fees for his Facebook services. Sorry, 25 grand. 25 grand in the space of 7 days, just by putting up a post and say, hey, if your Facebook ad campaign right now sucks and it's not getting the results that you wanted to, let me have a look at it. I might be able to fix it or help you. Let me just check it out. As from an observation, I'm happy to help. 20 people responded, 25 grand recurring revenue in 7 days by just teaching people what he knew. Teach people what you know, right? Several people that I know have gone out and done this, right? It's how I got my first client, is I taught people what I knew about developing a sales process to maximize a result, to get a fast result through sales process. And so I used to show people, look, if we did this, went through this process right now, you don't do all of these things. But if we walk through and structure it in a way, and we could actually put KPIs, key performance indicators to it, if we could put some systems around this, then what do you think the difference is going to be to your business? And they're going to go, wow, that's going to be astronomical. How much is it going to cost us for you to do this for us? That was the question they asked me after me teaching them. So teach what you know. Very powerful strategy. Reach out with cold email with a direct offer. So I love the cold email strategy. We use this. I mean, I do this in real time. In fact, one of the things I'm going to be doing at the mastermind in Las Vegas is I'm actually going to be crafting a campaign for you in real time that you can send out on the spot and get results. I've helped people generate $80,000, $70,000, $30,000, up to 25 appointments within 24 hours with the campaigns that I create live in time. So people, if you're interested, hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, and I'll make sure that you get some information about what's happening on the 26th and 27th of March. So reaching out with a cold email, very simple strategy. What most people do is they really screw this up. Is you want to make sure that this is relevant. The first thing you want to do is you want to get people to open your email. Best way to get people to open your email is to put their name in the subject line, their first name in the subject line, and then ask a question. John, quick question. Mary, quick question. David, need your help. That's another way to get people's attention. Peter, can you look at this, right? As soon as you see your name, you're more than likely going to open emails. So the number one thing is you want to get your emails open first. Second thing is you want to be really short and punchy with what you're offering. So for example, in our agency, we help physical therapy practices to scale through Facebook ads. We do that successfully, where we generate up to 100 patient opportunities a month for our clients. The average growth rate of our clients is 30% per annum with our systems. We sell a Facebook funnel. So an email that I would write reaching out to a health practice professional is, hey, right now you're relying on referrals, and referrals are dying out. We know that referrals are dying. Let me show you a way that we've got direct access to patients who are interested in your services. We can introduce you up to 50 to 100 of those people directly to your practice who need physical therapy help. If you want to know more, just reply yes to this email. That's it, right? Hey, I've got a really simple strategy that can bring you 4 or 5 estimates every week for kitchen remodeling jobs. I'd love to be able to share the simple process we have that will help that come consistently to you. If you want more kitchen remodeling estimates consistently coming to you, at least 4 to 5 of those a week, just reply yes to this email. Hey, if you're looking for people who are absolutely interested in putting solar panels into their homes, and if you want at least 20 or 30 of those a week coming to your business, I'd love to share a simple strategy that we're using right now to make that a reality. If you want to know more, just reply yes to this email. So there's 3 examples of a cold email that you can send out. And what you want to do is you want to send out to a group of people, and you want to check out the open rates. You want to make sure the open rates are 30% or above. That way you know you're getting people opened. And you want to run a sequence, and you want to say, hey, did you get my email? Right. Number 2, did you get the email I just sent you before? Not sure if you got this. Here's what it was about. Number 3, love to know what you think about this idea. Number 4, Are you interested in generating this result, right? Simple emails, do 10, do 100. Some people do 1,000. I have Richard, one of our consulting champions, who literally has built $1 million agency just out of cold email. And what he does is he has a group of people and he emails the same people. He only has a list. He's built a list over the period of just over a year of about 7,000 people in his market. And he's really communicating, not to all 7,000 because he's filtering down, but he's only really communicating to a couple of thousand of them. And so he gets a 75% open rate on his emails because he's dialed in the information, right? He's made his information relevant, and people will email him back commenting on how great his emails are. Right, so it is one way where you can get out to the market directly with a simple message. You don't need a massive list, right? But you can certainly find them and create them. But it is a quick way to generate clients. So simple offers. Can I show you a strategy to get 30 to 50 qualified leads every month on autopilot? Can I show you how you can use automation to convert more sales and generate more inquiries? Can I show you how you can find the perfect customer on Facebook? Can I show you how you can bring thousands of eyeballs to your website every month? Can I show you how you can get more buyers? Can I show you how you can turn your website into a sales generating machine? Can I teach you how to is one of the most powerful strategies that you can put out into the marketplace. It is the most powerful strategy. If you want to maximize your opportunity for growth, it is one of the most powerful things you do is to teach people what you know. So moving on. Teaching people what you know. One-on-one training. You can offer training to people. Say, hey, let me train your team to do this. Oftentimes when you offer training, they say, hey, can you, this is all really hard. Can you do this for us? You can do live webinars. You can do Facebook Lives. You can do LinkedIn events. You can do training for association groups. One of my consulting champions does a monthly training, gets paid $1,500, £1,500 a month to show up for a 1-hour training on digital marketing services for a particular industry. They pay him to do live training because he offered it to them. Say, hey, let me do live training once a month. And they say, yeah, well, we have to pay you. Our training budget is, for people who train, $1,500 a month. And so they pay him to show up to do a webinar. They get 8 clients out of every training. On average, between 5 to 8 clients every time they do a training every month. For an association. You can do an evergreen lead magnet video to a landing page. We all know what this is. We have seen this before. Put a video on a page, drive them to that, put an appointment scheduling button on the page, and if people like what they see, then and they've watched the video, then they have a propensity to take some advantage of some time with you on how that idea can apply with them. Live events, we do this very much in our agencies. They work really well. Breakfasts. You can create your own business networking group, right? You can sit there and say, hey, we're creating a group on how to deal with digital marketing issues that impact on real businesses in the market. The only people who can come are owners or managing directors of businesses that have between 10 and 50 employees, right? And we used to do this once a week. We used to get this breakfast. We used to charge them. So we used to pay $100 to come to this breakfast. We would put between 5 and 10 people in the breakfast, and we would talk about a topic that was relevant to their business. And at the end of that, of those 5 to 10 people, we would generate clients. We used that strategy for a year, and that built a multi-million-dollar agency, just that one little live group strategy. We use this right now in our big agency. We have a boot camp we run every quarter, and we have what we call discovery days we run every single month, and we do the one-on-one training as well. And that's how we've been able to scale to over 189 clients in 189 different locations around North America and Australia to grow our business. So I wanted to share a story with you. This is a story of Jasper Brown. Jasper worked for a Chicago power company. He came to me very green. In fact, he'd never been in business before, but he realized that he was in a very dangerous job. The mortality rate for power linesmen in Chicago was pretty high. Lots of injuries, lots of accidents. You're dealing with thousands of, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands worth of volts working this job, and it was really tough. So he came to me not knowing anything, and I wasn't actually going to work with him to mentor him because I just wasn't sure he was ready. It was already, I felt that he needed to go and make some mistakes and buy some products that didn't work and, kind of get to know how the internet stuff worked. But he sat down with his wife himself, and he persisted. He said, look, I really want to do this. I need to get out of my day job, and I'm really fascinated by marketing. So I said, you have to pick a service. So we talked about all the different services. services. He chose to do AdWords. Now, I told him to go to a specific list. It was the Inc. 5000 list, which is an easy list for everybody to generate. And so his first client he got within 6 weeks was paying him $8,000 a month for management fees for his Facebook ads. First client ever, first business ever, Facebook ad agency, right? Didn't do the work himself. He outsourced the work, right? I'll talk about that in a moment. He outsourced the work, but he got a client. Within the first 2 months, he got 3 clients paying him $8,000 a month each, $24,000 in recurring revenue within 8 weeks, right? And ad budgets of $30,000 plus. And he sold to ad agencies. He sold AdWords to ad agencies to attract clients to their ad agencies. That's who we sold to. Very first clients ever. He didn't do the ads. He outsourced it because he leveraged it. Remember, he new to the game, just needed to understand the fundamentals, had to work with people who knew what they were doing, right? But very, very quickly, he grew that business. Now, part-time. Remember, he's doing a full-time job. He can only spend 2 to 3 hours 6 days a week on this business. So his 2 to 3 hours were generating clients, was talking to people, sharing, presenting to people. And then when he got a client, he would then use a resource partner, somebody to do fulfillment so they could do the ads because he had to go back to his day job. So he worked full-time for a Chicago power company. Within 15 months, Jasper built his business to $150,000 per month in revenue. That's a $1.8 million business in 15 months from scratch, not knowing anything. And that's what's possible when you go and build the business with guidance and with the aid of mentors. So if you're just hopping on this live training, if I'm holding a 2-day bootcamp style event in Las Vegas on the 26th and 27th. It is an intimate gathering. There is only 12 people in this room where I'm going to be focusing on hands-on growing your business, but more importantly, I'm going to do real-time strategy so that you're actually generating sales and revenue opportunities at the actual 2-day event. If you hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, on this live, below this, we'll make sure that you get the information to let you know what's happening on those 2 very intimate days. So remember the story of Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. I share this with you because one, I was inspired by this story of back in 1914, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford got together and started a group called the Vagabonds. This mastermind went on for years. It went on for about 15, 16 years. These 2 men were the beginnings. James Burroughs, a botanist, Harvey Firestone, President Harding, the Colgates, the Lever and Kitchen family, all these, creative artists, designers, sorry, I'm about to sneeze, attended this group of people. They used to camp. Now, they didn't do your regular camping. They did glamping, right? They took 50 or so staff to look after them while they're on a camping trip. In fact, here are some of the photos of the Vagabonds on their travels. They literally had these old Fords, or not old, they were new Fords, that Henry Ford had built. They were trucks and vans with fully fledged kitchens. They would literally travel America to different locations, invite their friends, and they would mastermind. And you can tell that they were glamping because on the camping trips, they were wearing suits. Look at how they're all wearing suits and ties. And then you can see some tents in the background on their camping trips. So they were very formal campers. They certainly did this in luxury. But this group changed the world. This group, through this mastermind, literally revolutionized industry, invention, science, technology, artistry, entrepreneurialism. They literally changed the ball game. And so I was inspired by this group because I went to Fort Myers myself and I got to hang out and I got to learn, and I bought this book called Uncommon Friends, and it talks about the story of the Vagabonds and their experiences together over many, many years. This is the winter home of Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. They had a house side by side on properties that were sitting next to each other. These to hang out with each other for 4 or 5 months of the year in the Florida winters, and I used to go camping. I used to go and travel the science fairs around the world, and so this was an extraordinary place. I got to see Edison's laboratory. I got to see some of Henry Ford's earlier iterations of cars. There were they were quadricycles, like motorized vehicles just with four wheels and a base. Even one of the first electric cars, Thomas Edison actually came up with an electric car that had been in use up to the 1960s. Battery-powered rechargeable car that was based out of in fact, he invented in 1901, and it was in production and use in factories for more than 60 years. So I got to hang out with this incredible place, and I realized that it goes back to that concept of the 5 people that you hang out with reflect, who you are as a person, and so what I did was I thought, I just want to ask you permission to reveal what I've put together and what I'm super excited about as a project. Something that I believe is going to revolutionize people who are in the agency world. Is I created a thing called the 1914 Club for Inspired Entrepreneurs. So you can actually go to 1914club.com and actually register and sign up for this actual event that I'm putting together, the inaugural event, which will be held on the 26th and 27th of March in Las Vegas, in a private location, in a boardroom, that you'll be able to come and spend 2 days with me working on your business, and also spend that time with peers who are also looking to excel and accelerate the growth of their opportunity. So what you're going to get, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's going to be happening in the 1914 Club. This is a private boardroom. The boardroom is located in Las Vegas, in a very private location. You will not be made aware of this until if you decide to join me at this private event. But I'm looking for 12 people who actually want to scale and grow their business. And what I mean by scale, I'm talking about building milestones, taking your business from where you are right now to the 7-figure milestone, moving from the seven-figure milestone and going beyond that to a 5 times 7-figure milestone, or even a 10-figure milestone. So I'm going to be walking you through some really unique things on this event. The idea is I want to focus on ultra fast results. This 2 days in this room we're going to take some action. This is not you sitting down listening to a whole bunch of stuff. This is you working on your business, applying what I show you, and launching out there to, 1, generate direct cash flow and revenue in your business on the spot, or 2, opening the door to business opportunities that you're going to be following up from this actual event. So this is real time, real action, no fluff, right? There is no filler in this 2 days. This is you with your peers in a room working on your business, and the goal is to scale and give you a plan to your milestone. So who is this for? This is for people who've already sold clients, who've already working with clients. Number 1, you must have some clients that you've sold to, because otherwise you don't have a business, right? If you have some clients, if you're a freelancer and you've got a handful of clients, if you're an agency, you got 10 or 15 clients, this is definitely for you. This is who this will work for. If you're just starting out and you have no clients, you've never sold anything, this is not for you. You're not going to get the benefit from being in the 1914 Club. So you must have had experience in selling to clients. You must be working with clients right now, and you must, or you've got a team that you're working with and you're scaling. So you might be at the 100,000 to 300,000 mark, and you're going, hey, I just want to go bigger. I want to grow. This is who this is going to be for. So we're going to be in this room. It's 2 days with me personally in an intimate setting, working on your business. There are going to be 12 peers sharing their experiences, and they're going to be masterminding with you. People at your level and above your level. Some of the people in this room are going to be 7-figure businesses, right? With me, and you're going to be with us in this room for the 2 days. We are doing live implementation of real-time strategies. So this is not a seminar type scenario. This is an actual active working process. We're going to be working together, crafting a campaign. I am going to personally craft a campaign for you that's going to do one of 2 things: make direct sales, put revenue in bank account within 24 hours, or open the door to opportunities to generate client opportunities that you're going to go after once you leave this room. The purpose of this is you to take action and get results quickly. That's what the purpose of this room is. I'm going to hold you by the hand, show you step by step move by move, how to close the most crucial and high value clients. I'm going to walk you through a simple sales process you can use that you can replicate over and over again to close your deals. And you can do this very quickly. The next thing is I'm going to show you how I help build agencies from scratch into 8 figures and beyond. My first ever agency that I built into 8 figures took me 8 years. But the second one took me 3. I'm going to show you how we go about doing that, what you've got to do, how that works, what that looks like, and what that can look like for you. I'm going to walk you through and how to leverage multiple sales. I'm going to show you how you can actually create a situation where you can get sales one-to-many rather than just one-to-one, and it's not about webinars, right? But I'm going to show you how you can leverage your opportunity so you can scale a lot faster. I'm also going to be showing you how to retain your clients. The most important thing for you to scale is to create a compounding effect of every new client you bring into your business. So what happens is, as you bring a new client and you bring the next client and next client, you're increasing your revenues and increasing the recurring revenue, which has a compounding effect. So every client you bring on board over the months actually starts to accelerate your growth. But the whole idea is you need to keep those clients paying you for 12 months or more. I'm going to share with you a simple strategy that we use that has clients signing up with us for a minimum of 12 months. No trials, no, let's try this for 90 days. The client agrees to work with you for a minimum of 12 months. We are encouraging our clients to work with us for a minimum of 3 years, not 12 months, 3 years, right? So I'm going to show you how to retain people in this strategy. The next thing is more of what you're going to get in this room. And because you're going to be with your peers, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the real-time stuff that I work on that's working right now to build agencies all over the world. Things that are very applicable, but you're going to have a workbook that you work with. You're going to have a plan that you're going to walk out with. And you're going to have the ability to execute and see the results as quickly as possible. All the heavy lifting will be done for you. I'm organizing your average 5 to be in this one boardroom. In fact, I'm going to organize your average 12 to be in this boardroom. Remember the 5 people you hang around the most. I want to build a community in this mastermind, in this 1914 club of people who are absolutely committed to building the business that they aspire to for themselves. That's who I want to work with. That's who I get the best results with, right? Ease of implementation. There will be no excuses. I'm going to show you how simple this is because I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to craft your campaign in real time. We're going to launch that campaign. We're going to go and make some opportunities happen. That's what we're going to do. So ease of implementation, we're going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it for you in real time. So you're going to be working with me closely, and the rest of you're going to be learning from the rest of the room, because remember, I'm going to be crafting 12 campaigns in real time. They're going to be launched to generate either a direct sale or to generate client opportunities. So I'm going to walk you through a very clear plan. We're going to have an implementation schedule. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what you have to do, because you're going to walk out of there knowing that you're going to eliminate any bottleneck that you have in the business. That's what we're going to be clearing out. We're going to focus on the most important things that will have the most important impact on your business. And you're going to have an implementation schedule to follow so that you can actually follow that path as you leave this boardroom. I'm going to give you client opportunities. I'm going to show you exactly what I do to generate clients. I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to generate clients and opportunities out of this room. So just to recap, 2 days with me personally in an intimate setting working on your business. 12 peers sharing their experiences and masterminding on your business. Live implementation and real-time strategies that we're going to execute. So you're actually going to get a result here. I'm going to show you how I helped agencies grow from scratch into 8 figures. I'm going to show you how to leverage multiple sales opportunities. And I'm going to show you how to retain clients so you can actually create a compounding effect. So you're increasing your revenues much faster rather than having to constantly trawl and lose clients along the way, which most agencies do. If you're just joining me on this Facebook Live here, I'm holding a 2-day event, a boot camp style event, an intimate event for 12 people in Vegas. If you're interested in knowing more about how you want to join your peers who are wanting to scale 7 figures and beyond for these 2 days, just hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, and I'll make sure that you get an invitation and you can actually check out what we're doing for those 2 days. So the 1914club.com. If you go to 1914club.com, you will be able to see, you'll be able to fill in a form and register for this 2-day event. Remember, only 12 people can come to this event. And so I had two choices. I wanted to, a lot of people are asking me, why only 12? Why only such a small? Why don't you do this on a mass scale or a grand scale? I could have gone and done this at an event and say, hey, this is exactly what we do and how we grow. And I've done this on larger events. But I feel that there's more power in an intimate event. There's more contribution, there's more collaboration, there are more ideas that are shared in an intimate environment, and I can get the greatest results possible when I'm in that intimate group. I can eliminate the bottlenecks much faster in an intimate group than I can on a massive group, because I can talk to you personally and individually. So I had two choices. I was either going to go and do this as a massive live event, or I was going to do this as an intimate group. I chose intimate because, one, I know that I can get the best results in an intimate environment. I've held these masterminds with my consulting champions, and literally people have walked out and generated tens of thousands, and we've had people generate hundreds of thousands of dollars from these intimate groups by attending these 2-day masterminds. So that's why I decided that I want to keep this intimate. Okay, your investment in the 2 days is $1,914, 1914club.com. I was going to make it $19,140 because of some of the results we get, but we chose to make it $1,940. So you can join us in that boardroom if you go to 1914club.com, and you can sign up with a form, and you can pay your ticket fee, and you will have a seat at the table, at the boardroom table, in a private location in Las Vegas on the 26th and the 27th, in me, with your peers and me, working on your business, implementing real-time strategies to get results immediately, as quickly as possible, so that you can scale and grow your business. You're going to walk away with an actual implementation schedule and plan, and we're going to eliminate any bottlenecks that you have to get clearly focused to generate your outcomes. So if you go to 1914club.com, you'll be able to fill in the form, place your deposit for the event to secure your ticket. And then what will happen is there'll be a form that you need to fill out, and then we will make sure that, that you are a fit for this particular room. Now, the number one mistake that most people make in this business is the lack of clarity. It's incredible how many people I speak to out in the market, even their existing businesses, they're trying to scale and grow a business at that 200,000, 100,000, 300,000 mark, and they're stuck, right? The reason they're stuck is because they're not clear. They're not clear about a couple of things. They're not super clear about the offer that they're making into the marketplace. They're not super clear about who they can help. They're not really clear about who they can help. Sometimes they want to help everybody, and this is a danger to most small agencies. And the second mistake is, the third thing that they try to do is they have no real clear defined sales process that they can predictably generate high conversions from their market. And so this is the number one mistake, is the lack of clarity. And one of the things that will help you immensely in the 1914 Club is that those 2 days are spent on getting razor sharp clear about your offer, about your target market, and about the plan to go and execute and leverage into the marketplace. And you're going to be doing it in real time. We're actually going to be doing this in real time at this event. That's why it's 2 days intensive. It's not me talking. But the number one mistake is thinking that you can just go and do this without any help. That's the other thing. But two, clarity is the key. When you're clear, you have certainty. When you have certainty, you've got confidence. When you've got confidence, you're going to succeed. But here's the thing. When there is a lack of clarity, there's going to be a lack of certainty. And when there's a lack of certainty, we have a lack of confidence. And we have a lack of confidence, we will fail in our business. So the number one mistake is thinking that you can just do this for everybody and just walk this through or walk this in. It's not going to happen. Clarity is key, right? So we have a guarantee. I'm going to guarantee this event for you. So the guarantee is that we'll get you 20K or more in 2019 with the strategies and the plans that we'll give you. If you don't see how we can help you make that happen after your first day in Vegas with us, just let us know. We'll simply part as friends. We'll refund your investment immediately in full for the workshop, and you'll be able to leave. So I don't want anybody losing out. If you'd like to join us and you want to get all the 411 on what we're doing, right, just go to 1914club.com. So your ticket is guaranteed. If you feel on the first day, at the end of the first day, that you didn't get the value or get value enough for you to realize your opportunity to generate those sales, no questions asked, I will refund your money immediately, and then you can go on your merry way. So 1914 Club is fully guaranteed to give you a result. Right, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I don't want anybody to make an investment in me and not get a return on investment. So I will guarantee that return. If you come to the event and you feel after the first day it's not for you, and it's not worth it, I will refund your money personally on the spot without question. So 1914club.com. Just go to 1914club.com. Cost versus value. So I often look at when I'm, the reason why I invest in myself so much is because I know that by doing that, I've been able to grow. And I know anybody here that's listening to this live trading, if you invest in yourself, you are better today than you were before you invested, because you've learned some things, you may have applied some things, you may or may not have gotten results, but you are wiser through your investment in yourself. And I look at things like, we look at cost versus value. Time is absolutely priceless. Money is something you can always come by, right? So if we look at investment, I always look for what is my return. If I want a return, I've got to apply myself. If I apply myself, I'm going to get a result. Cost and value. 2 days with me, just to give an example, 2 days with me personally, like privately, I charge tens of thousands of dollars to do that. The last time I did a 3-hour session, a company hired me to come in and facilitate for them. They paid me $25,000 for 3 hours to facilitate that session for them. They flew me in privately. They gave me the accommodation, made sure I got there with transport, and I was looked after. But that's what it costs. If you want me to completely strategize and rejuvenate and revitalize your business in total, it's pretty expensive to do that. It's a high price. And I know that I can make a difference in people's businesses because I've successfully helped people generate millions of dollars worth of sales. So in terms of value, the value is huge. In terms of the cost or the investment, it's insignificant, because at the end of the day, I'm guaranteeing that you will get a 10x result from attending this 2 days. So how much is it worth if you were to work with me privately? Significantly a lot more. I just explained that it costs a whole lot of money to hire me personally to work on your business. I've worked with people that invested more than $100,000 just for my advice. It is not uncommon for that to happen. In fact, I have a number of clients that I work with privately at that level. So you're getting access for 2 days intimately on your business with your peers, with me, for $1,914. Either way, you're still going to pay. I often find, what is the price you pay along the way? You either accelerate, if you're going to invest in accelerating the process, there is an investment to make. If you're going to invest in not accelerating the process and going out there and trying to figure all this stuff out on your own, you're going to pay the price of time, money, resources, and energy, and it may cost you a lot more to make those mistakes along the way. One thing I've learned in my businesses, and the thing that I discovered even being in software businesses or starting new businesses, I want to fail fast and I want to fail cheap. I want to fail as cheaply as possible, right? Knowing that I want to validate the idea as quickly as possible. So I rather invest and get things done now than wait and have to go through that expensive learning curve in that process. So if not now, when? Often people say, hey, I like the idea of this. I want to do this. I want to get into this. I want to make this happen one day. I can't remember who said this, but one day island, one day I'll never comes because we move on in day to day with our life. We let other things take advantage of our attention and our time. And, we let things pass. Now, that's not to say that the opportunity will not happen again. It may or may not, but this is the inaugural 1914 Club that I'm doing in Las Vegas. This is the first ever. And so, as I said, I am putting an enormous amount of energy, time, resources, and effort to make sure that the people who attend that make this decision and make this investment get the most out of this for themselves. I want to see you flourish and grow and open the door to the opportunity of introducing you to those 5 or more people that are going to revolutionize your business, hold you accountable, and support you and encourage you along the way. The entrepreneurial journey is a very lonely one. If not now, for me, I've always, when I look at things, I'm a fast action taker. I implement very, very quickly. If anybody who knows me personally, they know that I implement fast. If you've been to one of my live events, you know that we do live implementation really fast. There's nothing, the idea of something holding you back doesn't exist in my world of thinking, in my realm of getting things done. So if not now, when? If not now, if now's the time for you, if you found yourself plateauing, if you found yourself getting frustrated with not getting enough, charging enough for what you do, if you found yourself frustrated with the clients that you're actually engaging, right? The idea is to change that now. I can show you within a 2-day period really fast on how we can go out there and generate clients that are going to significantly add more revenue and, more importantly, at higher prices than what you're charging right now for what you do. So the 1914club.com, if you go to 1914, fill in the form, make your registration. As I said, there's only room for 12 people in this private boardroom. It's on the 26th and 27th of March, which is about 7 weeks away from today. You'll be in this room with 12 of your peers. You'll be talking about ideas, strategies, but I'm going to walk you through real time. The first day, we're going to get super clear, super focused, and we're going to eliminate bottlenecks in our businesses so that this clears up the path to getting the business done. The second half of the day, we're going to do real-time live strategy with me, actually launching a campaign in real time that does one of 2 things. 1, generate a direct money sale. 2, generate business opportunities with people who will invest a much higher price in your services. The second day is me walking you through exactly what I have done to get businesses to 8 figures and beyond, and show you exactly the path very, very easily, and demonstrate the point of how that's possible and show you how the numbers work as well. So you get to see what it looks like to build a 8-figure business. And also we're going to be showing you, you're going to walk out with a plan, a focus, and more importantly, you may walk out with some money on the spot within the 48-hour period that you are in this 2 days. So if you're interested in being part of the 1914 Club, go to 1914club.com and fill in the form. Your investment is secure with the guarantee. If you show up on by the end of the first day, if you found that it wasn't for you and it's not right for you, I will refund your money instantly, no questions asked, and I will wish you all the very best. So next, what would happen if you don't say yes? So oftentimes when I think about what would happen if I didn't do certain things, I know, like I'm sitting and saying, if I'm thinking about growing, if I'm thinking about focusing on implementing real time, if I'm thinking about those things that will make an impact on my business, I generally know that I'm going to be heading in the right direction and I'm going to be heading there a lot faster. So to me, it's when somebody presents an idea like that, I'm always in a yes, right? But if I don't say yes, if I say no, I'm sitting there going, what am I saying no to? Am I saying no to myself? Am I saying no to my business? Am I saying no to what I aspire to achieve? There are many times where I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in my training. In fact, I couldn't even afford those programs sometimes, but I did it anyway, knowing that I was focusing on the very thing that was important to me, and that was to make sure that I'm attaining the things that I aspire to you. So I ask you, what happens if you don't say yes? What happens if you don't say yes now for you? What is plan B for you is what I'm asking you. So the money is just a resource, but the time is something you cannot get back. And I often find that I can always make money. I'm going to show you how to generate revenue opportunities in the actual 2-day event. I can always go and get money, and I use money as a resource. The problem is I can't get back my time. And if I think about the times where I've tried to figure things out on my own, they've always taken longer and they've always cost me more. And so I am always looking towards leveraging my time rather than just leveraging my money. The money I can generate anytime, the leverage of that money I can generate anytime. What I can't do is get back my time. So to me, my time is the precious commodity, and I always look to accelerate my result or accelerate my ability to move in the direction of what I aspire to, as opposed to sit back where I am and knowing that I'm choking myself when I do this. So the money is irrelevant because I'm guaranteeing you a 10x return from the ideas and the tactics and the strategies you're going to learn in the 1914 Club, and more importantly, that you're going to apply in your business. Information doesn't create change. Information in and of itself, and this is why this event is unique. The reason it's unique is because we are actually doing real-time work on your business, and we're going to do real-time strategy. I'm going to craft a campaign for you directly, and we're going to launch that campaign to a targeted audience that has the propensity for it to be relevant to you. We're going to do one of two things. We're going to make a direct offer for a revenue buy, so we're going to put money in your bank account, or we're going to open up the door to you sitting down with people who've put up the hand saying, hey, I'm interested in you coming and talking to me about how you help me with my business. So information in of itself is a dereliction if you don't take action on it. And so one of the reasons why I designed the mastermind, the 2-day 1914 Club intensive, to be action orientated, action focused, is I want you to generate a result, a positive result in real time. That's what we're aiming for, right? So information in and of itself, this is not like any other event you've ever attended. When I do this with my champions, hundreds of thousands of dollars are made within a 4-hour period. I had a guy, literally, I crafted a campaign within 2 minutes. He launched the campaign. He went to a dead list, a list that was a horrible list, the worst list you can imagine. Totally non-responsive, completely dead, didn't ever respond to anything in the market. Took my email, pressed the button. Within 2 minutes of him pressing the button, his phone was called. It was a prospective client who was interested in the offer that was made on the email. 30 minutes later, that person walked back into the room. My consulting champion walked back into the room and closed a $32,000 deal and showed me on his mobile where the client paid the deposit, right, on his mobile within 30 minutes. 48 hours later, to this dead list, $72,000 worth of sales within 48 hours, just from applying this campaign. I've had people generate up to 20 appointment opportunities. I've had people sell $80,000 worth of services with money in bank within 24 hours. The information alone, when you attend a seminar and a conference, the information in and of itself isn't worth anything unless you apply it. So the reason this is a unique event is because we are going to apply what we know works and see the result in your bank account or in your appointment calendar. That's the goal. So the 1914club.com, go to 1914club.com, fill in the application. Only 12 people can come to this event. 2 days, 26th, 27th of March, right? And there'll be a questionnaire that you'll have to answer. If it's not a fit for you, we'll immediately refund your money. But to secure your seat, $1,914, go to 1914club.com. You'll fill in a form and we will make sure that we help you on those 2 days. So break the old habits. Oftentimes you find yourself the definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over again and you get the same result. I want to break those habits I want to only focus on things that work. Imagine sitting down for 2 days and only focusing on things that actually work, that if you apply, that you will consistently generate client opportunities, and more importantly, increase your pricing structures, dramatically improving your profitability, and more importantly, scale and create a compounding level of revenue for your business so you can scale into your milestones. The idea is to break the old habits, break the old thinking. I want to eliminate bright and shiny object syndrome. I'm going to show you how to eliminate it and just do the business. The people that I work with that get focused and get real are the ones that are generating the results. If I look at my consulting champions that are making 7 figures and beyond, they have one target market. They have one offer to make to that market. They have one service that they provide, right? They have one sales strategy that they use, right? And they have a time frame, one time frame that they're looking to scale to in their businesses. And they are the ones that are scaling beyond 7 figures, right? Simple, simple, simple. Let's break the old habits. Let's bring in what actually works in your business. So I'm happy to answer some questions here on this live. I know that there's a whole bunch of people that are on here. And so if you want me to answer a question, I'm happy to answer a question. I'm just trying to pull up so I can see Facebook here because it's really hard for me to see what's going on. Whoops. And I just want to answer your questions. If you haven't already and you just joined, if you want to know more about the 2-day intensive of the mastermind I'm holding in Vegas on the 26th and 27th, just hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, on the comments here, and I'll make sure that you get an introduction and the information that is needed for you to know more about what's happening in that 2-day intensive. Let me just see if I can answer some questions here. Oops. So I know that there's a few people here. You want me to answer a question? I'm happy to answer a question. I'm just transitive. So Monique is, how do I convince clients to think about special offers when running their ads? So Monique, so you're talking about crafting ads or crafting offers for your clients. What I generally do is most businesses already have an offer that's already worked. Most businesses have an offer that already works in their business. I start with that offer. I often ask people, say, look, is there an offer that you've used in the past that's worked really well and got great results? Is this something that you've already used? And they often say, yeah, we used to run this campaign, it was great. And then I would ask, why have you stopped running that campaign? So, well, we got tired of it. But oftentimes if we have a good offer or have a previous good offer, then use that offer as the instigation for the offer for the clients. It depends. You're asking me a question, Monique, based on, you've got to give me the context of what's the business that we're targeting, that we're creating an offer for. What do they do? How much do they charge for their services? I need more information. But to craft a good offer, you've got to think about who their audience is. What I often do, it's really weird, this get stuck from years. Really stuck for ideas. So I go to this hidden website that nobody can find called Google, and I'll type in best offer for whatever industry. And then I'll go into best Facebook ad offers for whatever industry. And sometimes somebody's crafted a really good offer that I can use or build from to run a campaign. And the other thing with offers, Monique, is you want to test your offers. You don't want to just put one offer out there. You want to test. Like if you're running Facebook ads, you want to do A/B split testing and work out which ad is working the most to get the most traction, to get the most result. So if I'm looking for a great offer, I tend to look at ideas that are already out there in the market. And I'll give you a classic example. If let's say we were doing the fitness market, one of the biggest fitness companies in America is a company called LA Fitness. They're a huge business. They're a multi-million dollar business, and they spend millions of dollars on marketing and advertising and testing offers within the health and fitness market. And so all you have to do is Google LA Fitness offers on Google Images, and you'll see all the offers that they've run. And the reason why, you're going to see offers that they've consistently run. The ones that have consistently run are the ones that have spent the most money on because they've worked. And so now you can iterate an offer out of something that's already working. So that hopefully answers your question. Hey, Lisa, thank you very much. I appreciate you being all the way from the Philippines. Let me just put this up here. If you haven't already, go to 1914club.com, register your place for the 12-seat in Mastermind in Las Vegas in a private room where we're going to spend 2 days working on your business, and more importantly, with other peers working on your business. And also, I'm going to be literally helping you generate clients immediately at this event. You're either going to generate revenue or you're going to generate client opportunities at this live event. 2 days in Las Vegas on the 26th and 27th of March in a private boardroom with 12 of your peers, like-minded peers at your level above, who are all working on scaling and growing. I'm going to be working together to grow your business. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you've got. If you've just come into this live training and just seen this, I'm holding a private 2-day event in Las Vegas on the 26th and 27th. If you're looking to scale, if you're looking to grow, and you're looking to apply real-time strategies, like actually implement and get results in real time, I'm doing this over a 2-day period. Just hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, and I'll make sure that we'll get some information out to you if you're interested in coming along and joining me for 2 days. I'm happy to answer questions. I know that there are people on this live, so I appreciate that. If you want to know more, just ask me a question. I'll be able to answer your question. Other than that, I think one of the biggest things that we've talked about here is you know, your 5 common friends. The 5 people you hang out with are a reflection of where you're at in life. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce you to those 5 that are going to help you scale. They're going to support you. They're going to encourage you. They're going to hold you accountable to the very thing that you say you want, and that is to aspire to build a business that is significant for you, that you will benefit from. So if you're interested in spending 2 days with me in a private, intensive working style event in an intimate location, only 12 people, right? Where we are literally going to eliminate your bottlenecks that are holding you back from actually scaling and hitting milestones. We're going to give you a very clear path to follow, a step-by-step process that is going to revolutionize the way that you grow your business. I'm going to do real-time strategy where I'm going to craft a campaign for you in real time at this event. And we're going to launch it, and we're going to either do one of 2 things. You're going to see revenue straight away from the offer, depending on the offer that we create, or you're going to create opportunities for people who are going to put up their hand and say, hey, come and talk to me, come and help me with your services. So if you're looking to accelerate, if you're looking to expand and grow, go to the 1914club.com, go and fill in the form, pay your deposit to secure your seat. This event will sell out. It will sell out. As I said, if you're watching this, 2 days in Las Vegas with me, private mastermind group, focusing on growing your business, focusing on taking real-time action. This is not watching and learning. This is about actually doing and getting results. Hashtag Vegas, VEGAS, and we'll make sure that you'll get the information letting you know about the 1914 Club. So, as I said, if you haven't already, go to 1914club.com. I'm happy to answer a question. We've got a few people that are on this live. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you. And like I said, hashtag Vegas, VGAS, if you want to know more about the 1914 Club, or go to 1914club.com, fill in the form, register your ticket, and I will see you in Las Vegas. Thank you again for watching this live training. We have a few more live trainings coming on a few more ideas and tactics in the coming days. Take care.